Hey there, how you doing? You know, I'd like to save you some money, and the money will stay in your pocket. It's not going to go in mine, just like the way it should be, right? How many times has this ever happened to you? You pick up your TV remote, and what follows here doesn't apply to this remote specifically, it applies to all of them. But you pick up your TV remote, you start punching buttons, and nothing happens. So what do? You pop off the back of it, you pull out the batteries, you look at them, they look fine, but you can't really tell, so you get a new set of batteries, put them in your remote, put the back on, start punching the buttons again, and it works. So the problem was dead batteries, so you throw out the old set, right? The only problem is, most likely, you have just thrown out a perfectly good set of batteries. And here is why. We live in an oxygen atmosphere, which is a pretty handy thing. It allows us to keep on breathing and to keep on living. But one of the downsides of living in an oxygen atmosphere is that many materials will begin to oxidize after a while. Oxygen, oxidize, get the connection? What happens to these little batteries is that the ends build up a thin, micro-thin layer of oxidation. It's so thin that if you used a magnifying glass, you would not be able to see it. But it's there nonetheless. But it's so thin, you just cannot see it. However, it is thick enough to interrupt the free flow of electrons from batteries into the remote or whatever other device you're using. And this will apply to AA's, to AAA's, to D cells, to C cells, even the 9-volt transistor batteries. It's the oxygen, not the battery, that is the problem. There are ways to prevent this, but it's generally something the manufacturer has to build into the device. And most manufacturers don't bother. They just assume you throw away the batteries and replace them instead. And the battery manufacturers probably agree with that philosophy. However, if you want to save money, you can quit feeding these battery-hungry things all the time simply by removing the battery and using a high-tech device like this, a pencil. But it's got to be a special pencil, though. It's got to be one that has an eraser on the end. So what you do is you take your battery and you just erase the end. It won't appear that you're doing anything because remember that oxidation is invisible. But just go ahead and rub it down pretty good, just like you're erasing a mistake you've made on a sheet of paper. You do that to both batteries. And then scrub the end of the eraser against your denim trousers or some other rough piece of cloth to clean off some of the oxidation. You won't be able to see it. It's invisible, remember. But then you pick up your remote, pop off the back, and you go up inside and you clean off the contacts in there with that eraser. Turn the thing over and clean off the other set of contacts. Then take the original batteries that failed to work before, but the ones that you've just cleaned, put them back in the remote, put the back on, and try it again. Chances are it's going to work and work just fine this time. And you've saved yourself a little bit of money. In my house, we generally go through this battery cleaning ritual 4 maybe 5 times on a set of batteries before we actually have to throw them out. It's not a lot of money, but at, a buck or two a piece, over the period of a lifetime, you can save yourself a substantial amount of money. And saving money, you'll be able to use that money for some other pursuit rather than just feeding these little battery-hungry monsters. So, this is Sly Guy 73 with this handy little tip, and I leave you with the immortal words of Star Trek's Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper. Prosper, that's like save money, like in this video. You take care now. We'll see you next time.